Anyway, we do have, spawning over to our right-hand side, the man that was able to convey such ideas beautifully upon the map. He goes by the name of SKMC.
And Oren yonder left-hand side, under the idea fat and lazy despite being thin and baller. His name is AZUBU viOLet.
Yep, doing pretty well. I mean, he has to pull it back. Yeah, he really does. And I would say, to be honest, Metropolis is a good map for it to do it on. There's a lot of exploitation that can go on this map from the Zerg's point of view. You see a lot of like 2 base, super quick 4 gas guys, super quick Spire to rush to Mutalisks and try and exploit Protoss like that. Some people even hide the Spire over the other side of the map with creep spread from an Overlord, which is super cool to watch as well. So we'll see how viOLet wants to play it now.
Yeah, viOLet's also a purveyor of the ever-fine and tasteful Nidus Worm, which is an incredibly underused play. In fact, you can actually just early expand, build a crap ton of spine crawlers at the front of your base, and then Nidus network to both the islands.
Yeah.
And then you are guaranteed to be on 4 bases, 8 gas, very, very early on. It's pretty easy. But, you know, we don't really see that anymore. That was only something that happened on the original Lost Temple map that has since been removed for being awful.
Yeah, unfortunately. But you're right, I do like the Nidus Worm play on this map. There was the longest time I can remember when people like Mr. Bitter just constantly wanted people to use Nidus Worm play on this map so that you could expand to those bases. And then once or twice it happened, and he was a happy man. And, you know, rightfully so. He deserves to be a happy man. So, for now...
He's a wonderful person. Let's actually interject in cast and just give a shout-out to Mr. Bitter.
Yeah, let's.
That guy's awesome. I love Mr. Bitter.
He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude.
Not only an excellent caster, but also off-camera, an extremely nice guy, really dedicated to his work, likes to do a good job.
In fact, let's interject even more and tell the story of Mr. Bitter, because without Mr. Bitter, I would not be here today.
Oh, is that so?
That is directly so. Literally, he had a huge influence on me becoming a caster here. Not just because he left ESL, but because because him and Kaldor at the Assembly Winter at the very start of last year recognized that I was all right and gave Ben talk to ESL to get me a spot at the IEM World Championship, and that's one of the reasons I'm here today. So, Mr. Bitter, cool dude. There you go.
That's probably my favorite part about working in this space. Is there's just a lot of awesome folk.
Yep, it's true.
And you know, one of the big benefits of that discussion is that absolutely nothing surprising happened in this first 5-minute period of the game. Zerg double expanded to get his economy going for the triple queen. We see a single zealot out of MC early, which actually is a little bit unusual in a lot of modern times. Often people just hold the watchtower and put a probe there. Yeah. And they're sort of content with that. But it looks like MC might have an early attack in mind, because we do see the +1 on the Forge. We see the Warp Gate ongoing as well.
We like that they're +1, but viOLet has spotted the +1 with his little Zergling, so he knows exactly what's going on. And for now, Stalker on the way to try and deny some kind of scouting potential that would occur here from Mr. viOLet, but his third has been spotted as well, so MC keeping himself well in the know as to what's occurring. We actually have 2 gas guys on the way at the 6-minute mark. Who would have guessed it, Sean?
Who could have thought? Well, I won $1 with this supposition on an earlier time.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
But in the meantime, I would very much so expect 4 gateways to go down right about now, right at around 6:30. That is the time at which that should occur. This could be the increasingly popular throw down some gateways and then go for, rather than a Zealot warp and attack, do a Stalker warp and attack. It's rare that your opponent will have Zergling speed, so you can easily pull back and retreat, but weirdly nothing yet out of MC. Looks like he's just super focused on hiding his tech.
Yeah, that seems so. And, well, I mean, viOLet's he actually did a pretty cool job of going for scouting, but unfortunately was not able to spot anything, as MC was being very, very clever about when he was throwing down those buildings, with that Twilight Council going down as well. So, I mean, this map has been prone to 2-base timings, but at the same time, well, 6 gateways and a Twilight Council. Do you think he's going for some kind of blink play?
You know, it could be a cute little transition where you start off and try to apply pressure with 4 gateways of Stalkers, and in the meantime, you're getting Blink and +2. So you sort of do a little timing push to soften them up for the follow-up timing push.
That can be strong. I've seen that many, many a time. It's like the just standard 4-gate pokes into some kind of extra pressure that does happen a lot. And there we go. There's that +2 and Blink on the way, like rightly suggested. And for now, well, I mean, whoa, that's interesting, actually. viOLet placed his Roach Warren at his 3rd base. So either he doesn't, well, either he feels he's very comfortable about holding that from any kind of 2-base play, or it's in a very, very vulnerable spot. And for now, just adding on the macro hatch here, viOLet getting things going, checking out every single location. He knows that pylons are going down, so he realizes that any kind of push from MC could be on the way. And he's going to be gearing up. He's going to be making a lot of units, making a lot of overlords to free up that supply as well.
Oh, man. MC's starting to reveal his plans. The 2-base all-in is about to go down. I mean, this is a very common build, very popular build. MC even protecting his probe and continuing to shove forward. Has 3 geysers. He'll be able to morph in plenty of Stalkers and even some Zealots to join in. This is very similar to the all-in that Grubby used to get his 2nd place prize at IEM Singapore.
Yeah, that is true. As for now, he's still pushing forwards here, trying to break down this huge, huge Roach wall that we're seeing from viOLet. Nice Blink Micro. We'll be able to save a few of those Stalkers, but the Roaches fall back for now. Still a flood of Zerglings as well as Roaches rendezvousing, but he hasn't killed those rocks if between the bases. If he were to do that, then he could reinforce between these locations a little easier without having to traverse past those Stalkers.
I mean, this is a really tenuous angle that MC is doing. He's moving down towards the 3rd, but the problem is, the farther he goes down to the 3rd, the farther away he is from his reinforcing pylons, his reinforcing set of units. He's trying to do some nice Blink Micro and is succeeding by and large against those Roaches at the front lines, but there comes a point where you have to pull back with those Blink Stalkers to be able to recharge the shields, continue to engage. They're quite squishy. I mean, MC, who's currently up 2-1 right now, is getting an increasingly dangerous position.
Yeah, he is. Drones roll coming off the line as well. viOLet realizes he's in a little bit of trouble. He tries to clean it up as best he can do. He still has 13 more drones as well as 6 Zerglings on the way. The drones are falling here and the Stalkers are surviving, but there's just more Roaches piling out constantly. All the Stalkers are going to end up dying off, and viOLet here barely holding, but losing 23 workers in the process.
Oh gosh, viOLet. I mean, this is one of the reasons why he just does this standard opening repeatedly every single time. He is so excellent at it, and most importantly of all, after he makes this round of 12 drones, he can follow it up with a big push, and it's actually 5 hatcheries for viOLet. viOLet built a 5th hatchery in his main base because he thought, yep, I'm definitely going to be dead for certain, but he's not dead. So there's a weird timing that you can do now where you go drones, Ling Speed, and Infestors, and then you end up flooding with Ling Infestor to back up your Roaches.
Yeah, this is a very, very scary situation right now for MC. It's very difficult to hold all of this off. So many Roaches, so much production capability from viOLet, whilst he just gets himself droned up and happy at that 3rd, as you mentioned. With +2 on the way, it's as well as that Infestation Pit finishing up now, with an MC having no sizable position to actually grab himself a 3rd anytime soon. It's going to be difficult. I mean, he can go for the 3rd, but it'll always be relatively vulnerable because of how much production the Zerg have.
Oh, yeah. And oh god, here's the Zergling starting to get produced. Extra geysers getting grabbed up in the main base. 600, almost 700 gas for viOLet. He's going to be building himself 5 fat, juicy Infestors, and he's going to start rallying them straight on over to MC's base. I do not think that he is going to be waiting until Hive or any time later.
Yep, that's just not really the viOLet we know. He knows exactly how to exploit a person that's been stuck on 2 base for this long after somewhat of a failed all-in. And MC here trying to break down the rocks, trying to open himself up the avenues to play this game out, but viOLet, is now crushing along with the macro. He's getting 22 Zerglings, 7 Roaches, 6 Infestors. That +2 is going to finish up very soon, and that's going to help considerably for this massive Roach force as it grew.
This is looking so excellent for viOLet. The perfect defense, narrowly doing that in time. And now it's time for the perfect counter swing right at the moment that MC is trying to take his third and has positioned himself more vulnerably. That is when viOLet steps into strike. +3 attack going down. Forge in a super vulnerable location. Could even be picked off by this big Roach Ling pack. I mean, it's basically just waiting on those Infestors to get in the force, and there they are.
Yep. Here and happy to serve as he will now move forward. Yeah, Robobay is on the way, and technically speaking, if he could somehow, some way get that out with some Colossi, he should be a little bit happier, but still the +3 with that Forge will go down, so will the Pylon, trying to breach this location, and once again, just going to spread MC super thin. He's even force-fielded himself out of his main base whilst the Roaches wreak havoc in that location.
Oh gosh, viOLet yet again with the excellent splitting, no +3 for you. There's Colossus Tech is coming up, but it is going to be way too late. A lot of crazy back and forth action throughout the series, but with that number of infested Terrans and that amount of units, MC cannot hold. He is no zealot.